What's up YouTube, Awesome Yu-Gi-Oh here, and today I'm here with the second of the 3 deck profiles I'm doing from the new Secret Forces series. This is Ritual Beasts. I've already uploaded Senju and I'll be doing Necros as well. At least that's the plan. But for now, Ritual Beast. I know this is one of the fan favorites, or it has become one of the... myself, I don't know if you noticed during the openings, I didn't really look into Ritual Beast, but when I did the openings on the Secret Forces, I noticed that these cards have absolutely amazing artwork, which pretty much why I decided I wanted to build a deck as well. For right now, Senju actually my favorite of the 3 decks, but like I said, artwork wise, this is definitely my favorite. Now this is more of a testing build, to be honest, because I have done some testing with it, and I'm feeling pretty well, or I feel pretty confident with this build, but I'm not like really pro with this deck, so I'll leave you some suggestions on how to improve with this deck as well, because this is a deck that requires some practice, or at least some reading, to use properly, or most effectively, at least. Triple Ritual Beast Elder. This is the one that allows you to get an additional normal summon. And then we have double Lara and double Wen. So I feel like some people were running either Lara or Wen at pretty much Wen at 3. Along with Elder at 3 and then Lara at 2. I feel like 2 and 2 is enough, because Wen and Lara aren't really something that enhance your opening hand. Elder is, of course, because he starts your combo pretty much. Wen is the one that special summons from your banish and Lara from your graveyard, but those are more like second to whatever game normal summons. And I wanted to enhance the opening hand as much as possible to increase the odds of opening the combo, which, by the way, there is a pretty good combo tutorial on YouTube up on Team Shockwave's channel. I'm not going to do the entire combo because that's pretty much a video on itself, and really no point in me doing that video when Team Shockwave pretty much has the exact same video. So look it up on YouTube if you want to see some combos. Team Shockwaves has a couple up on their channel, and I feel like probably someone else has done a couple as well. 2 Wen, 2 Lara, so that's how I like to run it right now. That's it for the Tamers. Then I'm dropping the deck, I'm sorry. Then you have triple Rampangu. This is your playmaker, your quarterback, your MVP. Pretty much you want to see this in every opening hand. Of course you can, but this is the card you want to see the most. Then for the Spiritual Beast, I have triple Kanahawk, then 2 Apolloi, or Apollio, I'm not sure how you pronounce that guy, and 1 Dolphin, or Palopin. Of course, everyone was making fun on how you keep pulling her instead of, for example, a Necros of Brionac, but I actually only pulled 1 of the Ritual Beast ulti Palopin in 3 boxes of the Secret Force, and I pulled 2 Brionacs. Shh, don't tell anyone. So yeah, I think it's not that bad, but you do pull him quite a bit, and you only really want to run 1. His effect actually, or her effect, I guess. Her effect, because she's pink, her effect's actually pretty decent against, for example, Burning Abyss. You're just able to compulse something once per turn, which is not bad. It's just not that relevant. It isn't out against the Jinlock in your Necros matchup, but you do have to banish from your hands, I believe. Yeah, you do have to banish another Ritual Beast card from your hand, so the cost is relatively hefty. But 3, 2, and 1 seems to be really standard. Of course, he is a bit more of your playmaker as well, more of a combo maker. Apolloi is the one that boosts your attack, but he is really good for with Rampangu being able to search him out when you banish ulti Apolloi I'm just going to call it Apollo for now, by the way. And then to round up the monsters, I run one Tempest. Tempest is absolutely ridiculous in this deck, because of course you do want to banish a lot, and everything is wind. Literally everything. All the elders are wind, so every monster I am running right now in Ritual Beasts in the main deck is wind, and then a lot of your extra deck cards are wind as well. Of course all the fusions are, but then you have Chidori, which is a wind, and Castel, which is a wind as well. So Tempest is live always, just dropping that big booty. So that's 17 monsters if I'm not mistaken. Now before I go into the spells, I want to point something out. I really wanted to run Upstart because you want to get to pretty much this first turn every time. Elder plus Rampangu. But I wanted to tack in some anti-meta cards as well. So I wasn't able to find room for Upstart. If you are, then I heavily suggest you do run Upstart, because it really helps with the consistency of opening Elder plus Rampangu. Triple Emergency Teleport. Now I'm sorry, this card has risen in price quite a bit thanks to this deck, which is quite amazing because it hasn't really performed on a YCS level. It did top some regionals, and it's a really good deck, but like I said, you need to be good with this deck to perform well with the deck. You can't just like, oh well, it's up to regional, let's try it out, and without any solid practice go with this deck to a regional and expect to do well, because you're not. 3 Emergency Teleport gets out pretty much all of your Tamers. Triple Anti-Emptiness. Triple MST, because Emptiness can hurt your deck a bit. Foolish, pretty much for the access for Tempest, but also has some synergy with all your other cards. Gold Sark, pretty much the same thing. Of course you can get your Emptiness, or damn, I don't know why I have Emptiness in my head. You can banish your Tempest. You don't actually run a search target, so, but this allows you to actually get access to Tempest as well. But banishing all of your other Spiritual Beast monsters can really strengthen your game state as well. Then there's a lot of one-offs, by the way. One-Dimensional Fissure. This is one of the anti-meta cards I was talking about. Really helps against the Necros matchups, but helps your own game state as well, making when alive a lot quicker. 1 Raigeki and 1 Book. These are other outs against the Genlock for Necros, and then 1 Ritual Beast Bond. This is pretty much like a quick play contact fusion enforcer, kind of like a super polymerization, but not as stupid. Pretty much you activate this, banish 2 ritual monsters from your field to contact fusion, or to fuse. It's more like an El Shaddoll fusion. That's it, El Shaddoll fusion. It's not the best card, but it does help getting around some cards and even OTKing, so I like to run it at 1. That's it for the spells. I believe that's 12? 1, 2, 13. No, is it 13? I believe 12. I believe 12 spells. For the traps, triple Ritual Beast Heats. This card's really good. Once again, something you get out when it's all searchable with this guy, by the way. All the Ritual Beast cards. But this allows, this is kind of like a Mirror Force or Torrential, or pretty much however you want to use it. It's really decent. All the big guys can decontact, so you can contact in him, search, and then if you want you can decontact again, putting 2 monsters on the board, so you can pretty much always clear 2 monsters your opponent controls, which is pretty decent in my book. Then 2 Ritual Beast Ambush. Now this is actually a really good card. It's kind of like the Heraldic Beast Reborn thing, I believe that's what it's called. So this card generates a lot of advantage for you. This is just not a card you want to run at 3, because you don't want to see it too early. So it's a really busted card. In that consensus, you might want to consider running at 3, but I suggest you don't, because it can be a bit dead early on in the game. And then for some one-offs, 1 Macrocosmos, pretty much the same reason as Dimensional Fissure, just on steroids. This card is so good in pretty much every format. The one bottomless trap hole, just a bit of a defensive trap. One sullen warning, same thing. Bottomless really helps against Clifford, and sullen warning is decent against the mirror, but mostly against Necros. And then I main deck, and this is pretty much why I had to cut the upstarts. Triple Mind Crush. And now this card can single-handedly win you the game against Necros if you know what you're doing. So if you decide on running Mind Crush, I suggest you get familiar with your Necros matchup, because activating a Mind Crush on a Kaleidoscope and calling the Unicorn, which are pretty much always going to bring out, is a -1 for them. You lose your Mind Crush, but they lose their Kaleidoscope and at least their Unicorn, which, like I said, there's probably always a Unicorn, maybe even up to 2. And then generally they won't be able to resolve their Kaleidoscope. And of course it helps with just the Manju Surges as well. That's more like a 1-for-1 in hand, or 1-for-2 if they have multiple copies of that card they added. But in general, it's really good if you know what they're going to ritual summon, and that's the easiest with Kaleidoscope. But you could use it with on a Necros mirror or as well. But it's easiest with Kaleidoscope, because they're pretty much always going to go with Unicorn. But Mind Crush is really good against Necros. So that's it for the main deck. Then the extra. Now I'm running triple Kanahawk, double Apaleo, and then double Pelopin. This cannot be targeted by card effects. This is like Armades. Once attacks, your opponent cannot respond. And this is your search guy. But I'm not sure on these ratios. You might want to go just 2 on him, because pretty much he never really leaves the extra deck. You know, of course you bring him out, but then you just put him back. So I'm not sure if I've never actually needed the third one of this. And right now I'm leaning toward 3 of him, so 3, 2, and 2. But I've seen people running 3, 3, and 3. I've never really needed that much, but yeah, just test that out and figure out for yourself what your ratios, what you feel like the ratios should be for you. Right now I've never had a problem with 3, 2, and 2. But yeah, like I said, I'm not 100% sure on that. And then, yeah, pretty much the rest is some generic rank 4 stuff. You have your Exiton, of course. The one Chidori, because once again, everything is wind. And all of your spiritual beasts are level 4. Now your Tamers are not, but all your spiritual beasts. And Rampangu is level 4. So with any spiritual beast plus Rampangu or double spiritual beast, whatever, you can actually make the Chidori. Cowboy, Arc, Castell, another wind, and Dweller, and then just, oh, I'm losing. And then Rhapsody and Ragnar Zero. Rhapsody, of course, really good against Necros, and Rhapsody, or Ragnar Zero, really good against Clifford's. That's the extract. Then the side deck, triple Max C. This card's the best card in the mirror match. Don't expect to see a butt ton of mirror matches, but you know, it's there. It's good against Necros and Burning Abyss as well. 2 Dark Hole for Necros, 2 Twister, Clifford, triple Shared Ride. I'm actually thinking about going 2 Shared Ride and then triple Twister, because with how the main deck is built, your Necros matchup's actually better than your Clifford matchup. So I'm thinking about going like 2 Shared Ride and then triple Twister. So I have 3 Twisters and then 3 MSTs and the triple anti-spell fragrance for Clifford. It is of course also useful against Necros. And then 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirror if you still have some Burning Abyss in your area. Which I don't actually. At least I do have some Shadal, so this does put in some work, but pretty much Burning Abyss has died out for my area, which is kind of strange, because it has been the best deck for a really long time. It's just completely, because the Necros matchup is so terrible. But yeah, that's the deck profile in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think of Ritual Beast. I absolutely love the art, like I said. It's a really fun deck to play. You do play a lot of Solitaire, so your combos, it's kind of like Infernity in that regard. You do your own play like a lot, and then in your second turn there's this possibility of you just straight out OTKing. So your matches in turn-wise most of the time don't take that long, because you're going like to turn 2 or 3 and then it's pretty much over. At least in the ideal situation, of course. But your turns can take pretty long, especially if you don't know what you're doing, which happens to me in the beginning. So what I'm suggesting you do is go practice this on Dev Pro or Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, whatever you use, instead of DN. Because Dev Pro and Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro really help you with asking you which effects you want to use on which point. So it's easier to learn that way instead of doing it all on yourself. And then, of course, in Dev Pro you have I believe 2 minutes per turn right now. So you have to be quicker with it as well. So that's really helpful for practicing how to properly play this deck. In the comment section down below, let me know what you think of this deck. If you like the profile, please give this a thumbs up so the words spread around. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time, which is probably going to be the Necros deck profile. Probably. Bye!